What's been happening? You been all right?
I've been good, mate. Yeah. Same old, mate. What about yourself? How are you?
I'm good, mate. I was working last night in the hospital. I took a wee overtime shift, so I'm looking like shit, as you can probably tell. I try and keep my because I'm on they call it like the bank. It's like a 0 hour contract. So because
Yeah,
I'm not permanent anymore, I'm moved over at the 0 hour. So I just like to keep my hand in, mate, keep my skills there and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
it's good. How many hours were you doing yesterday?
Well, it was supposed to be 12 hours, but the clocks went forward last night.
Oh,
So
yeah.
only done 11. It was class, mate. It got to like 2 minutes to one in the morning, and I was like, come on, come on. And then the time jumped forward to two, and I was like, yes.
Do you get paid for 12 hours, or is it just still for 11 hours you've done?
I actually don't know. Because I would presume that they would just pay for the 11 hours, but
Uh,
I don't know.
did you
But
go in yesterday to start your shift clean shaven, and then after one shift, you just got this big stubble now?
I go in all clean shaven, exactly, and then I come out and I'm like, "Arrgh," like a fucking bear.
Been through the wars, mate. How are you getting on in your new job?
The new job's good, mate. Yeah, I'm starting to enjoy it now. Uh, is there an ice cream truck in your living room?
There is. No. Selfish prick.
I'm looking at the window, being like, "Oh, there's an ice cream truck somewhere."
Ah, how inconsiderate. Doing a
I know,
podcast and he comes in the street with his fucking mobile ice cream van.
I know. You should just lean out the window. Oi, I'm doing a podcast here.
Do what time it is, pal? Podcasting. Chuck us a 99.
Do you have a gig this weekend? Were you playing Woo Asia?
No, I didn't actually. I thought I was gonna, but no, they didn't need me in the end. And yesterday, um, so Alana's younger brother Scott, he had a surprise 30th birthday party at Summerside Bowling Club, and
Oh, aye.
so for like months it's been planned, and he's had no idea. So there was about 100 people there last night, and then he came in at 8 o'clock, about an hour after the party started, and he was a bit taken back because he was like, it's a pure surprise party. It was a good night,
Very good. Yeah, class.
really good. I feel sorry for the missus today. She's very hungover and she has to work, so bless
Oh,
her. I drank a lot of water last night. I thought I ain't doing a hangover again, but there's been a negative to that because I drank a lot of water and I feel all right, but I'm pissing like a racehorse.
were you on the pints? Were you?
I had about 5 pints. I had some of that beer and Moretti. Really nice. Tried that before?
I have tried it before. I can't remember when. But yeah, I remember it being quite a nice lager. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. And because it's a club as well, bowling club, it's more like cheaper. So pints only about £4 or something.
See, like social clubs and bowling clubs, they are just still the way forward. Like,
Yeah,
they just, I don't know how they can sell the drinks so cheap, or maybe pubs are selling their stuff at overinflated prices. But when
yeah,
you go to a nice wee social club or a bowling club and you're like, oh, it's like £4 a pint, you're like, happy days. Like the wee social club over here, it's called Meadowbank Social Club. It's in Donegal. They
uh,
do pints of Coors for £4 or
no,
like 4.20, and it's mate. I mean, like Coors is Coors, but like
yeah.
it's a nice ice cold pint, and for £4, like you can't argue.
That's a bargain. I love the way you say cures as well. Cures,
Coors.
cures. Like that place in Shanwicks that used to be open in Edinburgh. You get a pint there
Oh,
for like 1.85. It's mental.
mate, we had some of the greatest nights in there. Whenever I used to come over and visit, and I used to be like, right, come on, we'll go for a pint in that wee
Yeah,
place. It was like £2 for a bottle of beer.
yeah. I know. It's crazy, crazy prices. The last time I think we were in there, remember we were doing that quiz.
Yeah,
And there was a
I was like,
question, like, wasn't there? Like, what? Who sings that song? The "You and Me, Baby, Ain't Nothing But Mammals," and we just couldn't like think of the song title. And
I know, like one of the biggest songs of the 2000s on MTV, and we're like, what fucking who is
yeah,
that?
I actually think about. I know the song's called "Bad Touch," but I don't know the artist. Just know they're all in like bunny outfits, aren't they? Oh,
But that was a strange night, that, because we were sitting having a drink, and then this woman's like bringing wee pens and bits of paper out, and I was like, "What's going on?" She's like, "That's a quiz." I was like, "Oh, happy days. Well, let's go on the quiz."
let's win a £40 bar tab. Like how many
But
pints of cores we could get with this?
oh, 100%. You pay for your whole night. But it's such a shame that pubs like that are sort of going out of business now. Do you not
Yeah,
think, like,
aye,
so many places in Edinburgh? Like, whenever I come back and I'm like walking around like Leith and like even like the Old Town and Newington and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that used to be a pub. That used to be a great pub, and now it's like a shop, or it's like being converted into houses or something. I don't know.
Yeah. What would you when you lived over here? What was your favourite boozer in Edinburgh?
Favorite boozer? God, that's a really good question. I didn't have like a favorite boozer, but I would have like favorite areas where I would like to go on a night out. So like Leith was always a good one to go into.
Yeah.
I'd probably say in Leith that the Brass Monkey
Yeah, that's good pub.
was one of the favourites, because I used to drink in there whenever I was rehearsing with my bands. We would walk around
Yeah.
and then go for a couple of drinks. And then obviously when me and Melissa started courting each other, that's where we would sort of go a lot, because she lived close to there. So Brass Monkey is good. Um, where else? But like I always loved Edinburgh for like I said, I always think Edinburgh's like loads of little towns in a
Yeah.
big city. So like you would go, oh, where do you want to go? And you'd be like, oh, I want to go to the Old Town tonight, and you would just go out and George Street and stuff like that, and or you could go, let's go to the West End, or let's go
Yeah.
to Leith, or there was all that sort of like there was that choice in Edinburgh.
You're spoiled for choice, really, isn't there? There's a bar on like nearly every corner, isn't there? Like
Yeah, of course, yeah, of
you can
course.
go to
But
like Rose Street, you could go up the bridges, you could go on the Cowgate. It's aye.
yeah, and like the Grass Market as well. There was a pub in the
Yeah.
Grass Market which I used to love going to. It was, what was the name of it? I'm going to say Finnegan's, but it's probably not Finnegan's.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Yeah, it was something called Finnegan's Wake. Or
Finnegan's, is that Finnegan's Wake? That rings a bell. I used to love going there.
was it the one that's right next to Red Dog Music? Well, the old used to be Red Dog Music.
Um, so see if you came out of Red Dog Music
Yeah,
and you were like looking to like straight forward, so you would take a left to go towards the West End.
yeah.
If you walked towards the centre of the Grass Market and walked all the way to the end before you got to the wee monument that took you up to Liquid Rooms,
Right. Oh, yeah.
that there was like a pub on the left hand side.
Is it called Finnegan's Wake?
I think it's Finnegan's Wake.
Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, like if you're walking up the Liquid Room, it's a pub that's right next to it.
Yeah,
In the right. Yeah, I think it's like a sort of like you think it's an Irish bar. I think it's got
yeah,
some sort of Irish elements, but that's
but
a
yeah, that was
cracking
always
boozer.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was class. And then one of my favourite pubs in Edinburgh is do you remember the old sports bar that was behind Market Street, where the train station is?
I remember I never went in there, but I heard there used to be a one.
So if you came out the sports bar, right? I don't know what it's called now. I think it's just some fancy bar or something. So if you
Right.
came out that bar and you could cross the road and the train station entrance was there, well, if you looked to your left, there was like steps going up to like the little
Right.
close.
Yeah.
And if you walked up those steps, there was a tiny little pub on the right hand side,
Yeah.
and once again I can't remember the name of it.
Is it called the
Um,
Jingle and Geordie?
no, it's not the Jingle and Geordie. I've got hang on the now, and I think it was Edinburgh's smallest pub or Scotland's smallest pub.
Oh yeah.
Edinburgh's smallest pub. Hang on. Um,
I know there's one called the Wee Pub, but that's on the Grass Market.
the Halfway House. It's called.
Oh yeah, I know what you're on about.
And I used to have some great nights in there.
Yeah.
So
Good.
tiny, like could not swing a cat in it, but the
Yeah.
atmosphere was amazing because everybody would just be like squeezed up to each other, and like everybody would be drinking. And then like for one of the nights I was in, there was a guy playing a guitar with like a wee small amp, and I was like, oh, this is class.
Yeah, brilliant, man. Have you ever done that? Is it called the Rose Street Challenge, where like you
Oh,
try to go to every pub?
mate, I tried it with my mates years ago, and I got about 3 pubs in, and we were like, nah, we'll
Yeah,
just we'll just stay where we are.
yeah, it'd be hard, man. I don't know how many pubs are on Rose Street. There's like 18 or 20. So like, if you were to go every pub, have a drink, you'd be blutted, man. Because it's like you're going out in fresh air, and like,
Yeah. And the thing is, as well, like my dad used to talk about it. Oh, well, not that he used to call it the Rose Street Challenge, but like
Mm.
back in his day when he was drinking, he would obviously like that would be one of the hot spots in Edinburgh to go for a drink. But like
yeah,
there was probably about 10 pubs on Rose Street back in the 60s, whereas now there's about 100. So
yeah,
it's a bit more difficult to do it in this day and age.
yeah. No, if you had like I don't know, like a half a pint in every pub, you could probably do it, but not
You
like
could probably do, yeah. But I always like going along like a wee pub crawl. Like I love a pub crawl, and then
Yeah.
whenever you're going along, if you find somewhere that you really like, I love just staying and going,
Yeah.
right, this is where you kind of go, you float with the vibe, don't you? Because you're like, right, couple of warm up drinks, and then you go to maybe like the fourth pub, and you're like, oh, this is amazing here. And then I
Yeah.
always like just staying and going, this is where we're meant to be tonight.
Yeah, no, it's just sometimes it's like, yeah, just we'll just stay here, just settle down here. This we don't need to do any more walking. Like,
Yeah, but no, some great pubs that I miss. What was the one? There's Frankenstein's
I was at
up
the
by the
George
High
Fourth
Street.
Bridge.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Frankenstein's. That
no,
was always a good place to go. And then you had was it the Birkin here, which was off Rose Street or George Street?
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
remember that one?
I know that one.
Yeah.
There's tons, isn't there? There must be, I don't know, 500 plus pubs in Edinburgh.
Oh, it's some place, mate. But like I said, a lot of them have shut down now and like been converted into like wine bars and stuff like that and coffee
Yeah.
shops, and it's just sad, mate.
Well, that Green Mantle pub that we played in years ago when we had a little acoustic bass duo,
Yeah.
I actually played in there last year, and I was speaking to one of Alana's mum's pals last night because he goes there quite a lot, and that's changed completely now. Like it looks so different. It's like a pure, don't know. It just looks like a more of a up class vibe. Even it's still the same setting of a bar, but it just seems completely different. Like, but I didn't think there was nothing wrong with that pub. It actually just looked class the way it was, but
Yeah.
taken over by new management. We've had a refurb, and yeah, it just looks
It's
different.
it's the way all the venues are going. It's like I used to love nothing more than walking in the street, going out for a drink with your mates, walking around, and then if you heard this wee like spit and sawdust pub and you walk past it, the doors open and there was like an acoustic player playing, you'd be like, "Let's go in there."
Yeah, aye.
Whereas I think nowadays you don't get that, and it's like I don't know. I just think bars and stuff are a bit soulless. You still find the odd one that's good and still you enjoy and stuff, but
Yeah.
not the same anymore, buddy. Not the same.
The night when you gave me the inspiration to pick up the guitar, mate, in that Broughton, that bar in Broughton,
Yeah, I
after
was in,
that bar, like, I mean, that's the first time I'd ever been to an open mic. I knew like pubs always done like live bands. You could get like quizzes, karaoke. But that was the first time I'd ever been to an open mic, and just seeing the setup, like, oh, there's musicians here. They could just go up and play. I thought that was class. I was like, the kind of like opened my eyes. Like, oh wow. And you can go to an open mic pretty much every night of the week in Edinburgh if you wanted to.
yeah, that was your eureka moment, wasn't it? The wee light bulb
Oh,
went
yeah.
off and you went, "I want to do
Yeah.
that."
Yeah, I know. Just seeing you singing the songs, mate, I was like, bloody hell, that's amazing. I want a
Yeah.
piece of that.
Not else much going on with you, know.
No, nothing much, mate. Just been watching this new program. I'm still watching Yellowstone. I'm on the last season of that. I've started watching this other TV show. I'm basically watching Yellowstone with Alana, so I don't want to jump ahead of her. And like we've agreed, like we'll watch every episode together. But I'm watching this new show called Silo that came out on Apple TV a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I've seen that advertised. Yeah,
It's quite good actually. Well, it had a good rating of like 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I thought I'll give it a go. And I'm on season 2. It's actually all right. It's basically about like these group of people, about 10,000. They all live in one massive silo, and if you commit a crime, you get sent out to clean. Apparently, the earth's like toxic, so
right, okay.
if you get you're sentenced to your death basically, which is called a clean. And everyone watches this person go outside because they've lived in this silo for generations. They don't have any idea what the outside's like, but it's like a dystopian, toxic wasteland. And it's a good wee story. Like I'm on season 2 and it's going quite good.
I recommend it for a watch, do you?
Yeah, Tim Robbins is in it from the Shawshank Redemption, and the guy who's from Game of Thrones. Was it Daenerys's right hand man? He's like Khaleesi. Can't remember his name. Ian Glenn. I don't know. He played in Game of Thrones. The one who was like really in love with her, and like he's like Khaleesi. I think.
Oh yes, I know who you're on about. Yeah, I was going through the characters, going Ian Glenn. Yeah, I know who you're on about.
Yeah, Alana's lads, they've started watching Game of Thrones, and they've watched the first episode. And I said, be prepared because you're going to hear the word bastard quite a lot. Bastard.
Fucking Jon Snow.
The North. And don't get attached to any characters in it.
I know.
Are you still watching Lost?
No, I finished that weeks ago.
Oh, nice, mate.
But yeah, I sort of remembered the ending and stuff like that, and then I was like, right, fair enough, process the ending, and then I had to go on YouTube, and I just typed in like Lost ending explained, and I found this guy who explained it, and he was like, this is what the ending means, because it would be quite easy to make out as if they were all dead
Yeah.
the entire time, right? It's quite easy to think that with the ending.
Yeah.
Because they're all in the church at the end. And then this guy explained it. It's not, no, they're all alive, but in the time travel, everything that happened on the island was real. But whenever they start dying in their real life, they go to this purgatory where they end up with everyone else that they were with because it was the most important time of their life type thing.
Yeah.
And this guy explained it really well on the latest chart, and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah. I was like, it's a fucking great ending if that's how it is.
So this, even though you had an idea of what the ending was, this guy's explained it, his theory, and you think, I'll settle for that. That'll do.
I'll settle for that because, like I said, I always thought that the church bit at the end, they were all dead anyway.
Yeah.
And then even when I was watching it, I was like, nah, they're not all dead. This is all happening. Like the writers aren't going to write that. And then this guy explains it and says, no, watch. Basically, you're seeing it from the perspective of like Jack's the main character. So that last season, all those flash forwards, because they're all living like a completely different life as if they'd never crashed on the island.
Yeah.
But this guy explained that like, no, everybody has been on the island, they've lived their life, but they're all dying at different points in their life, but they're all going into that alternative purgatory.
Right.
And they're all interact because like Jack gets with that Juliet and they have a son. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why has he got a son? Do you know what I mean? But like, that's him in his purgatory, in his perfect world of what his life should have been. Do you know what I mean? Until he accepts his death. And I was like, that's a really fucking smart ending. That
it is good, isn't it? Like it's like not a bittersweet ending. It's kind of just satisfaction in it because you see all the characters that have been in it.
Yeah. So like, you know, you could die in your 30s, I could die in my 60s, but we would meet in purgatory.
Yeah.
And be together and be like, oh yeah, all right, man, and like until we both accept that we need to move on. I thought it was really good.
It's brilliant, mate. It's a great TV show. The only negative thing that I've got to say about it is that like there was just a lot of episodes where like things just didn't get explained. Like that just kind of got left. But I suppose it's like they just had to just keep going. Like they had to reach a climax with it, didn't they?
That was one of my bugbears about the later seasons. So you would have an episode where fucking John Locke was running about the woods like with a big knife.
Yeah.
And there would be like a bit of dialogue in the episode and like all these questions would be asked for the characters and then like somebody would just turn and be like, you'll find out. And then the episode would end.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like, Jack would be like, John, why are you going to the fucking hut, man? And he's like, you're not ready for the answer. And then the episode would just end. And I was like, somebody want to fucking sort this dialogue out. Like, oh, that's all you ever heard. Like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, it's the island. So yeah, that was my negative about it, was just like the dialogue was a wee bit slow at times and just like, oh, fucking hell, come on.
I suppose like a lot of like cliffhangers or endings, maybe like if it didn't get explained after like a few more episodes, you've probably kind of forgot about it because you're like, because this happened in this episode. But it's for like watching it in escapism, great TV show. Like
I'm thinking about starting it again. Do you know, like those comfort shows that you watch it once and then you just keep sticking it on and you can just sort of zone in and out of it. I'm thinking about doing that.
Yeah,
it was really, really good. Like,
yeah, I haven't watched it in years, and like, you know, what episode I remember liking? I don't know if it's in the last season where it's like a big flashback to like, I don't know, however many years on the island, and it was the two little boys, Jacob and his brother.
Yeah,
and it's like a sort of like the original of like how it all started.
Yeah, I felt like they could have went a wee bit deeper with that, though. Do you not think? Like, because obviously they were like alive for the whole like timeline in the universe. Well, I think they were anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jacob and the Man in Black.
Yeah.
I thought they could have maybe delved a little deeper into that sort of that storyline, but I mean, it was still like I still enjoyed it, and the twist where twist with the Man in Black taking John Locke's body was like, remember watching that episode going, why are they this other plane has crashed, the Ajira Airlines plane's crashed on this island, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And then obviously that was to get them all back to the island, and then the Man in Black takes John Locke's body, and I was like, oh, okay, that's smart.
Clever, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
I
very
like
clever.
those shows that are sort of like escapism, mystery, sci-fi, in it. Like it's because the first
It's
episode,
just, yeah,
you're gripped into the plane crashes. They're all on this island, and it's like, boom, like, oh, well, here we go. First of all, the plane's crashed. They're on an island. How the fuck are they going to get out there? And then,
yeah, it's very, very good. It's very good. But I think, like, and I put Stranger Things in this as well. Like, I love these TV shows that just like develop and like expand outward, you know, because it's like, it's obviously it would probably be really easy to write like a show with like 10 characters and just have 10 characters going through 5 seasons. Whereas like you have to like keep adding characters and adding layers. And you know, I said it to you about Stranger Things, like how they made that universe in their heads, you know, like having the backstory of Vecna and all that. And it's insane to me, like insane.
Just brilliant telling, man. Like, it's just because it's like quite like when I first watched Stranger Things, it had this sort of like ET like versus it sort of feel. Like that it was cool. They had this great music and all that. The soundtrack in it, the music, the soundtrack for Stranger Things is quality. Like the 80s synth and even like some of the classic 80s songs. They're like, it's just so good, and that's built like a big culture following, you know, over the last few years because like young kids watch it, like, and
yeah,
most people I know love Stranger Things.
Aye, it'll stand the test of time. I mean, I know the last season got a bit of criticism, but it'll stand the test of time whenever. I mean, I hope they bring it back in like a decade. Like, I hope they just don't do anything for a decade, and then they maybe come back with like a reboot of it. It'll be classed with the same characters, all older, and it'll be like about their kids and stuff. But
there's plenty of scope there. Yeah,
but the last thing on Lost is Sawyer is the best TV character in the world. Do you know what I would love? Oh, mate, he's so funny.
Hey, Freckles.
Hey, Freckles. But I would love I don't know if it probably exists on YouTube, but like a quick cut of all his nicknames for everybody. Because, like, how hard must it have been for the writers to write, right, he has to have a new nickname every time he speaks to somebody on the island. So they must have had to go through all the names and be like, writing all these nicknames. But he's so good, like, so good.
He's funny, man. He actually appears in Yellowstone. I thought, can I know him? I saw him from Lost. But he's not in it for very long. And I'm like, I thought he would have been given a bigger part than that. He's a like class character from Lost.
He's really, really good. He's because he's like a bit of a dick at the start, isn't he? And you're just like, oh, who's this fucking wank?
Yeah.
And then and then he makes the show his own. He's like the sort of driving force through the last couple of seasons.
I love how TV shows can do that as well. Like see, like Stranger Things. Like, you think that Steve Harrington's a bit of an arse in the first season, don't you? And he becomes one of the best in Game
it's
of
like
Thrones.
the character arc, isn't it? Yeah.
Game of Thrones. The Kingslayer Jaime. Like, he actually becomes, you kind of root for him as you see his story develop, and you think in the first episode, like, oh my god, he just chucked the kid out the window.
I've actually just finished watching Vice Principals. You ever seen that with Danny McBride?
No, what's that about?
So it's got Danny McBride and Walter Goggins. I don't know if you've ever seen Walter Goggins before.
Yeah, mate. He's in Fallout and Justified in that.
Yeah, and they done the Righteous Gemstones together.
All right.
So, yeah, the both of them are basically vice principals at this school in America, and the principal has to retire early because his wife's dying of cancer. So the show's about them two, like, it's a really funny comedy, but it's the two of them just at war at each other trying to get the principal's job, and then they join forces and stuff. It's, mate, if you want to laugh, there's only 2 seasons, and it's 8 episodes a season, but it's so funny. And you're talking about soundtracks. The soundtrack is amazing for it. Some of the songs in it are class. It's got like an 80s feel to it as well.
Oh, class, mate. I like that Walter Goggins. I think he's meant, like, he
so
owns
funny,
a scene when he's in it, isn't he? Like,
yeah. Well, he's very, very good in Vice Principals.
I watched this program a few years ago called Justified, and it's he's in it, and this guy called Timothy Olyphant, and it's basically just like this sort of cop. He's like a really good shooter, but him and his they used to work, him and Walter Goggins used to work in like a coal mines years ago, and they're like saving each other's lives because it's quite risky working in coal mines. And but the Walter Goggins, he actually becomes a bit of like a bad character in it. So like they used to be friends, and now he's a cop. But it's funny, mate, because it's like set in like I think it's like Texas, and just the way they talk and that is like hilarious. And that Walter Goggins, he's funny. I first seen him in was it Django Unchained?
What else? What else have we been watching? I've started on Apple TV. I've started the one with Owen Wilson called Stick. Have you heard of that?
No, what's that about?
He's a retired golf pro, and he sort of like had like a crash and burn in his career, and then he finds this young kid at a driving range and like tries to take him on tour and stuff like that. But it's not that great, mate. It's a bit. There's a character in it that's like, they've basically wrote this female character into it, and it's his love interest, this kid who's trying to go to make it as a professional golfer. It's his love interest, but she uses like pronouns and all that. And you know when they write it into a story, but it's more like the program just kind of revolves around that. Like I'm on episode 5, and like every time there's dialogue, it's like it's all about her pronouns, and it's just kind of a bit like, why have they ruined a potentially good show to like send the message?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of ruined it a wee bit, but it's all right. It's a nice watch to just have on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What did you think of Happy Gilmore 2?
Do you know something? I loved it for the first hour, and then I thought the last bit was just shit.
Yeah.
So when he comes back and he's like competing in the Players' Championship or whatever the tournament is, I was like, here, this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like they've got all the professional golfers to do cameos and stuff like that, and I really, really enjoyed it. And then at the end, they do this like stupid golf tournament, and I was like, and it just felt like it fell back into like his recent films, like just silly comedy.
Yeah. It's mad. It's like there was a time and place for it, like back in the 90s, but it's just it's like dated, isn't it now? Isn't it like?
Yeah, but enjoyed it for the first bit, and then it just got a bit stupid, you know.
Did you hear about Tiger Woods' crash on Friday?
Mate, see that man? Honestly, he needs to fucking step away from the limelight.
3 car crashes he's been in now, hasn't he?
I know it.
He's good as a driver, eh?
Oh, fucking hell. Like, it just baffles me how somebody can go through their life and just have that much turmoil in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's always been a bit of a naughty boy, isn't he? Like, I remember it was years ago. You know how, like newspapers like the Daily Mirror and the Sun, they do these mad little, like, headlines? And it was like, Tiger Woods, like, fancy around with Tiger Woods, 18 holes, and it's just pictures of 18 women that he's been with. Like, who has that job of writing like headlines? That must be a quality job. Fancy around of 18 with Tiger.
Fucking 18 mugshots all over the tabloids. Oh, fucking hell.
Each one with a hole in one.
Remember there was a story about a waitress who worked in like a fucking Denny's or something that like 5 minutes from his house, and he was like having, you know, sexual relations with her, and like the stories she was telling, I was like, he is a fucking, like, he must have been deprived as a child, like something, you know, like there must have been like something missing in his brain. Obviously his dad was a bit of a hard ass on him, you know. It's been well documented, but I mean,
it's mental because like I think when he was his dad was really like determined to just like to make him a professional golfer, like just
I think his dad was renowned because his dad was in the was it the Green Berets or something like that. He was high up in the army, and I think that's where Tiger Woods gets a lot of his mentality from. Is like his dad was just on him, but then you look and you think, well, you know, maybe he was deprived a bit as a child, you know, where like just being a child. So when he got older and he gets all this money and fame, he's like, fucking hell, I'm just going to let loose here and, you know, just go absolutely mental. But it's just, I mean, even I still remember the day that it was announced. Remember the car crash he had outside his house?
Yeah.
When the affairs were like made worldwide. I can still remember it, like Tiger Woods in a car crash, and apparently his wife chased him at the club with his fucking 9-iron. Fucking me, dirty bastard, you.
Fucking hell, man. Like,
greatest golfer of all time, but
yeah.
you know, as long as you just leave his private life out of it, you know what I mean?
Do you think he's? Do you think him winning any more majors is like a thing of the past, or?
100%. That win in 2019 was his last major. I thought it would have been a wee revival. I wasn't really watching golf at that point, and then I'd sort of seen him playing in tournaments, and I was like, "Oh, Tiger Woods is back playing," and then he started to play really, really well, and he won the Tour Championship at the end of 2018, and then he won the Masters in 2019. And I was like, "Here, this could be like a revival, like a Jack Nicklaus revival, like fucking just goes and wins like for the next 4 or 5 years." And then he had that car crash again in 2021, and ever since then he's just been fucked. But he looks, I always look at him, mate, and I'm like, I don't think he looks well. You know what I mean? Like he's I think he's renowned for being a bit of a prescription drug addict.
Oh, right, really, yeah.
I'm sure I read that somewhere, but it's not because he's like a junkie. I think it's because he's had so many surgeries on his knee and his back and stuff like that he's just on daily painkillers. So like he's but I always think he just looks a wee bit
keep to try and keep the pain away, sort of thing. Like, and do you think that's probably is his game declined, or is it maybe just the standard of other golfers is like it's hard for him to compete in a field where there's so much talent now?
I think he's definitely declined because just of the shape of his body, you know.
Yeah.
He can't. He's you know. You watch his swing when he's like 21, 20, and he's fucking athletic as fuck. But then he went and won that, what they call the Tiger Slam, not the Grand Slam, but the Tiger Slam, where he held all majors in a row. So like so you could argue both ways that like if he didn't change his swing, would he have been as dominant? Maybe he couldn't. And then he changed his coach again, and it was just like, I don't know. He's one of the greatest golfers ever. I don't care what anybody says. People, you know, he, not so much for the fact of what he won, but how much he changed. Like, the reason you're seeing all these athletic young golfers hitting at 350 yards is because of Tiger Woods.
Yeah, right. He's kind of set the standard for like people doing it. Like,
yeah, because he came on the scene in the 90s, and in the late 80s, early 90s, you know, golf courses weren't not that they weren't that long. They weren't as long as they are now. And technology was pretty bog standard in the game. You know, you still had like wooden drivers.
Yeah.
And he came along and he was hitting fucking 5-irons the same distance as professionals were hitting their drivers. And people were like, who the fuck is this kid? So then technology had to go and catch up. And then golf courses had to catch up too, because he was just fucking bombing everything. And
right, so they had to extend golf courses because like it was too easy for Tiger, like because he was...
not that it was too easy for him, but he was just that good. Like he was just so good. Like there's what's the golfer's name? I can't remember the guy's name, but he said he played with Tiger Woods one day, and he says, you know, we're coming down the 16th hole or something like that, and they've got like 240 yards into the green from the fairway, and he pulls his 3-wood out, this golfer. And he's like hits it 220 yards short of the green, and he says Tiger pulled out a 5-iron and fucking hit it pin high, and we were like, from 240 yards, and they were like, what the fuck? Like, so I think like technology then developed at a ferocious pace with how far he was hitting the ball, because manufacturers were like, hang on, like there's a wee market here for us developing clubs that you can bomb it even further. You can bomb it like Tiger Woods.
Yeah, right. Fucking hell, that's mental. So, see, when he first came on, I've dipped in and out of golf, right? But when you're more of a golf expert, but when he came on the scene, did people stand to attention with just seeing his drives or his all-round game? Was it mostly his drives were just like he's hitting the ball like so far further than any other golfer?
Well, see this, right? And there'll obviously be some stats somewhere, but I don't think he was ever one of the best drivers of the ball, right? He was quite, for him being at such a top level, I don't think he was the greatest driver. But you're right, he had that distance, and he would just make, like, he was amazing on the greens.
Yeah.
And I think it was just his creativity. Like he had more shots than any other player on the tour. So like if a veteran player was playing coming down the stretch and he had to hit like a left to right shot round some trees, they maybe struggle doing that. Tiger would just go, aye, that's fine, and just hit it. So he had more shots than anyone else. He had more distance than anyone else, and he had an army mentality, like a marine mentality, where he just never gave up, and he was just always gonna fucking beat you.
Yes, that was probably like it was all built into him. This sort of like this winning mentality. Like
of course it was. Yeah,
he's just built warrior on the golf course.
Yeah, and then obviously what happened after that was like when he burst onto the scene in '97 with his Masters win, he went away and he worked on his swing. But then you look at that era, like the late '90s, early 2000s, you had like your John Daly's and your VJ Singhs.
Yeah.
And these guys were just like, they were taking that new technology that was coming out, right? So these guys were already hitting it quite far. Tiger comes along, hits it even further. These guys are like, all right, they take the new technology and they're fucking hitting it further. So then courses then become too short for those professionals. So then the courses had to get bigger and more longer. And then there was the old term in the 2000s, it was like drive and gouge. So it didn't matter what the courses were set up like, because these players, all they fucking did was just hit as far as they could. Yeah. And then they would just chop out of the rough, and they would make, they would go around the golf course in like 400 or 500 par. So that's why now there's the whole argument with the ball, because the players are hitting it so far now that the golf courses physically can't make more space. So, like the golf courses in the PGA and stuff like that are like, well, there's nothing, like there's no more land that we can claim to make courses bigger, so it's got to be the ball.
Yeah.
I
suppose so. You were saying there about how golfers, like, they would hit it really far and they would not aim for the rough, but they wouldn't care if it landed in the rough because the balls travel quite far and it's close to the green. But they'll think, well, I can handle a shot from the rough to the green from there. Like, I just want to get that was like sort of the mindset, like, just get it. Doesn't matter.
So like your John Daly's, your VJ Singhs, your who else was out around that time that was bombing it?
Ernie Els, was he one of them?
Ernie Els was another one. Your Retief Goossens, Michael Campbell's. Because the golf courses were set up with, I wouldn't say they were punishing like they are. They're nowhere near as punishing as they were today. So what the players were doing, mate, is they were just like fucking bombing drives around these. They were just pulling the driver out and going fucking boom. And then it didn't matter if they were in thick rough, they would just learn to play out that rough. So they would rather, if they were playing a 400-yard par 4, they would rather hit a drive 350 yards and hack out 50 yards to try and make birdie. Whereas now, the rough so penalising that you physically cannot go in the rough in major tournaments because you'll never get out of it. You know what I mean?
So roughs now are like a million times worse than what they were.
Oh, yeah. They obviously like set the golf courses up now that if you're like an inch in the rough, you're no chance of getting to the green. Whereas back in the day, I don't think it was as penalising. It was just like, it's rough.
Is it more thicker, the grass? Is it more like longer? Or is it just...
Yeah, they just let it grow and get thick and like, it's, But there you go. There's a wee evolution of golf. I know we've not really chatted about football because it is the international break, and I'm not really a fan of international breaks. So, but we will cover a wee bit of the friendlies that were on at the weekend. Did you manage to catch any of the games?
I didn't, mate. To be honest, I've just I thought I'm out of the danger zone now, so I've got 2 cans left to finish. So a little time.
Nice, mate. I've got a wee bottle of wine waiting to be cracked open after this podcast.
Oh, lovely. Sunday night, red wine night. I haven't watched any football, mate, to be honest. It doesn't really... I watched the World Cup and I watched the Euros.
I'm the same.
It doesn't interest me at all internationally. Footy. It's a weird one, but I do love the World Cup and the Euros just because it's constant football. But no, it's sick because obviously we lost last weekend and you've got to wait like 3 weeks to our next game. So
I know it is shit in it, but I suppose the starting point would be Wales, Northern Ireland, and Ireland have failed to qualify for the World Cup. Which is a bit of a shame.
Disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing indeed. I was working Thursday night, so I seen the extra time with the Ireland and the Wales game, but I didn't finish. didn't finish watching it because I was like, I need to go to bed. But it's disappointing, mate, because you want as many British teams and Ireland to be at those World Cups, but okay, it's what it is. But what kind of annoys me about the qualifiers is I wish that they would just sort of. I don't know if they could do this with the scheduling of the season, but I wish that they would just set aside like a month or 3 weeks and just play all the qualifiers over like 2-3 weeks. Do you know what I mean?
That's a great idea, actually, to be honest, because it will save the disruption. Then at least every season they know that that month is going to just be international footy.
Yeah, so even if they said like, right, you're going to play all your qualifiers for the World Cup and the Euros in February, so then you would just have like, you would maybe have like the odd friendly in the run up to it, but then the teams would just go away for a month and the leagues would shut down, and then they would just play all the qualifiers in a month and just get it over and done with, because it fucking does my head in when it's like qualifiers in August or September, then fucking October and January. Oh.
Yeah. I think you need to apply for a job in FIFA.
Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best idea I've heard in a long time.
Do a far fucking better job than that. What's that guy's name? Is it Infantino or something? He's a dick.
No. It is good, because I remember, was it like a few years ago when they had the World Cup at Christmas time, and like so like all like European footy was kind of like 6 weeks. It just wasn't on, so it was kind of good, and it was good having that sort. It was rubbish because as well, because you're like, I've got to wait so long for the next Premier League game or SPL game, but it was actually all right having it over at Christmas. And I was the other day, I was like, World Cup's come around quite quickly, and is it because like when COVID happened, they had to play the Euros the year after or something, or then it was the World Cup was in Christmas because it was in Qatar.
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? Because it was like back-to-back years of big competitions.
Yeah.
But I kind of watched. I didn't see the England game on Friday night, was it?
Against Uruguay.
And then I watched bits of the Scotland game, but it was just such a boring. It was just one of those friendlies where you're like, you look at his squad, and he was like, he's called up players that he's trying new things in the England team, obviously in the run up to the World Cup. But then you look at the Scotland team, and it's like it's just so uninspiring.
Yeah,
it's like it was like the same squad that he's had, and like he's got like Hanley on the bench, and we spoke about it last week about like, why is he not calling up like the likes of Suter and Halkett and stuff like that? And you're like,
players on form,
players on form, exactly. Get your man for fucking was it Falkirk, that Barney Stewart? Get him in. Give Shankland a bit of game time. I know he's come back injured. What about Kieran Bowie? It's like I watched that game on Saturday, and the atmosphere was so flat at Hampden. Whereas I think if he'd went with a squad that was like just up and coming young players, I think it would have excited the fans a wee bit. Do you know? Like it would have been like would have made it more exciting. But he just played the same team that he's been playing for the last fucking 2 years.
Yeah, it must be so hard as well for like fans of international football. Like I don't know if anyone is actually a fan of more international footy than club footy, but friendlies you can't really get up for them because there's nothing really. It's just a warm up, isn't it? It's just exhibition to get your players in the routine of like this is what it's going to be like playing for our country. So it's like there's nothing really to motivate you. That's probably why the atmosphere is always shite at these games.
Exactly, and it was shit. It was a shit atmosphere. But I think if you go and play players that have never played. Not that they've never played at that level, they've never had a cap, but if you go and play like fringe players, it kind of adds a wee bit of excitement to the fans because they're seeing something they've never seen before. But going into a friendly, playing the same squad and the same team in the same way that you've played for the last 2-3 years, it's just a bit like I'm just a bit on the fence with how this World Cup's going to go, because he obviously doesn't want to change any of his squad. Too much to go, so I'm like, is it going to just be another Euros where he turns up and he defends against every team in the group and tries to like get draws? And it's so uninspiring. Like,
yeah, you don't know how it's going to be. It's going to be like it's all or nothing, isn't it? Like Scotland will finally get past the group stage of a national tournament, or it'll just be the same story. They'll beat Haiti. They'll probably maybe lose to Morocco and Brazil. Like that's the way you're expecting it. Or they might just get through in a third place finish. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were talking about how like they were on about the England team. How like you get this feeling that like teams like Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and Republic of Ireland, it's more of a big thing for them to get to these national tournaments because then they're hardly ever there. Where England, they just kind of expect to be there all the time. So
Yeah.
that's why you see like Scotland, great fan base, and they go mad for it because, and the same with the Irish and the Welsh. Like, I mean, they actually showed up to when they got to they got beaten in the semi-final or quarter-final, didn't they? They had a bus parade for the players. Like,
Mm.
it goes to show it's more. I don't know. It seems more. It means more than what to England because England are always there. England always get such an easy pathway through to these national tournaments. They'll get like their grips will be like, oh, they've already won that. There's hardly any tough games for them.
Yeah. They do seem to get it a little bit easier than other teams, you know.
Yeah, big time.
But I always say that England kind of bore me a wee bit in major tournaments because they've always had. I think they've always had great squads. You know, you go from like the golden generation of the 2000s, with your Lampards and your Scholes and your Beckhams and stuff like that. Even through to like a few years ago when they got to the semis and then the final of the Euros.
Yeah.
They've always had great teams, but for some reason it's like the last Euros. I remember watching every game of them, and they were just getting through the games. They were never ever like dominating the games and beating teams like 2-3-0 comfortably. It's like they always just trudge through games, but it's always when they get to the major tournaments. They can never. I've never really seen them like go and dominate the whole tournament and then get far. Do you know what I mean?
They don't really convince like because they go with this big expectation, but they don't even really deliver. I mean, like in the last tournament that you mentioned, I think they were a couple of minutes from getting knocked out by, was it Slovakia or something, or Slovenia?
Yeah.
There was one team they were 1-0 down, and they just they recovered. But yeah, just that I don't know. I think the England problem is that they spend a lot. They play a lot of friendlies against really rubbish international teams. So when they get to like a quarter final and they come up against a Germany, a Croatia, or Spain, they get found out because it's like, well, you've not played against this team in friendlies. When you get to the latter stage of the tournament, they struggle, like because they're so used to I always just think they get such easy fixtures all the time, even friendlies. So it's not really doing them any favours.
I think there was a stat at the last World Cup on that. I could be wrong. I think it was something like they'd never beaten a team that was like. I'm trying to think of the stat. They'd never beat like a team in like the top 20 at like a major tournament for so long. Do you know? It was something stupid like that. Like every team that they were beaten was like below them in the rankings. Whereas when they came up against like a slightly better team in the coefficient, they could never win. But yeah, they always seem to go with this expectation. But again, I think it's. I mean, I'm not a hater of the England team because, like I said, I quite like them. I think they've always got decent squads. Yeah, it's the media for me. The media kills me. Like every major tournament, it's like, oh, like this is our route to the final. Like they were doing it after the fucking World Cup draw. Like, oh, this is our route to the final. You're like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, it's like what was the? I mean, even when they got to the finals with Southgate, no one was right fully behind Southgate, and he got most successful England manager in recent times for getting him as far as he can. But it wasn't pretty football. Like, but yeah, the one against Italy when it penalties, that was probably the closest they came in it. Like
yeah, that was a golden chance because they played every game at Wembley, didn't they?
I know, yeah, and they allowed
apart from the quarter final, I think they played. Was it Ukraine they played in the quarter final? But they played that in I can't remember where they played it, but yeah, they had a great opportunity there, but they fucked it.
Yeah, no, penalties is just it's always the downfall of the minute. Like,
yeah.
It's funny with the whole international thing because like I can't understand. I know people have their opinions, and I just can't understand the sort of like hatred towards like the other countries. Like, like it's like Scotland really don't want England. They'd rather see England get beat in a final than Scotland actually going all the way. It's ridiculous,
it was like years ago when Andy Murray was asked at Wimbledon, "Oh yeah, so who are you supporting in this World Cup?" And he was like, "Every team that plays England." as he said it,
Andy?
as he's sitting in a room full of English journalists, like, "Oh, Andy, so who you supporting at the World Cup this summer?" And he's like, "Everyone who plays England." The fucking balls on it, mate. Just sitting there.
Proper Scotsman.
But yeah, no, there's like obviously like I don't really live by the hatred of England. You know, like what is one of my pet peeves is people who kick about in England tops who are like Scottish and Northern Irish and that. I fucking don't get that. Don't understand that at all. Like, you know, kicking about in an England top when you're fucking born and raised in Glasgow, whatever, mate.
Yeah, no, it's funny, man, isn't it? Like, I've had this thing like when I've like because I'm an English guy living in Scotland, like. People just assume like, oh, you're an English fan and all that. I'm like, no.
You English cunt.
You calling a cunt me? No, it's when I was younger, I used to like England, but like my mum and dad were Scottish and I hated it, especially my dad. My mum probably not so. And then like all the family were like anti-England, even though like myself and my brothers and my cousins have all been brought up in English town and got an education at an English school.
Yeah.
So then I switched sides when I was older to fit in, started supporting Scotland, and then I was thinking, this is pathetic. Like, God, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not justifying who I'm going to support. I'm not going to support anyone. They get to the final and they win. So be
sweating. It. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sitting there sweating, getting asked the question. Well, who are you supporting this summer then? England or Scotland?
Aye. If England and Scotland got to the final, like whoever loses, I win. But no, it's just it's good when it's on in the summer, mate. But you know, I can give or take. I kind of like it now. Like I've got this new perspective in international football. So like all the players that play for my club, you know, you'll have like a few England players, you'll have a Swedish player, a German player, an Italian. So I kind of like to see them do well, like for their international teams.
Yeah, no, I would be the same. As I've got older, I sort of share that as well, because obviously you've got a few Hibs players, so you've got like Martin Boyle and that Soto, who are Australian.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you would always like kind of look for the Australian results and kind of support them. And then who else? You've got Big Rocky's. He's Congo. I don't know if they're at the World Cup this year.
Yeah, I think they are. But yeah, Wissa's there with them, isn't he? He's Congo.
Yeah, so you just always support the sort of teams that your club players play for, which is nice. No, I'm just saying, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the tournament starting because the only thing is just like the times of the games and stuff like that. You know, like some of the Scotland games are on at like 2 a.m, but I'm looking forward to them, like seeing them. I'll like be proud as any and seeing them play at a World Cup again. But yeah, it just kind of scares me. Well, it doesn't scare me, but it just worries me a wee bit that Clark's going to go with this like just this defensive mentality and just doesn't really take a chance. And then we're going to just play 3 games, probably get beaten all 3 of them, and then just come home and be like, oh well, okay, that's fine.
We took part. Like,
exactly, we took part. But he's done that in the last 2 Euros, so he needs to fucking change. And he needs to try and go with a bit of an attacking mentality and just like I couldn't give a fuck if we got beat 3-4-0 off Morocco and Brazil. See if you went and actually attacked them and played a bit of good football and try to get forward and make chances. I would take a 3-0 drubbing if that happened. But what I don't want to watch is 85 minutes of defensive football to get beat 1-0. That fucking irritates me more than getting beat 3-0, try to play attacking football. Do you know what I mean?
In the last tournament, when they the first game against Germany, I thought it would have been quite a bit of close contest, but it just wasn't. Like, it was men versus boys, that one. Like they make sort of like games where like, Scotland can compete against a lot of teams. They'll just stick it out and grind it out. That's the way to do it. But yeah, in that game, they fell by the away sides, unfortunately.
But then we got the point against Switzerland, and that was fine, that was good. But then it was the last game, and surely that last game, you go, it's all or nothing. You just have to go and get the win. He fucking sat off the entire game.
Yeah,
and I was watching it, going, what the fuck are we trying to do here? Like we need to go and win to get through, and he's like, super defensive, super cautious, playing it across the back, left, right, and I was just like, oh my god, what are we watching here?
Yeah, in that game, painful. I remember that last game, Scotland. You think, well, they can beat them and they've got a chance of going through, but it just wasn't to be. And I think it's the pressure as well, man. Because I mean, to see Scotland to even get past a group stage at a national tournament, that would be a huge achievement. If Clark can do that, then I suppose he's got that on his CV, isn't he? Like, finally broke the duck.
We've got a really, really good chance with the players we've got. I think if he just needs to. I mean, yesterday it was McKenna and Hendry at centre back. Like, if you take the two to the World Cup, you're going to get absolutely pumped. I think.
Yeah.
I said to you before, the centre back pairing for me is Halkett and Suter. On form, best the best performing players in the league this season in the Scottish League. You have to take players on form, and if you can get that back four solid, the midfield's creative enough where they'll create chances. You just have to try and balance the strikers, and with your Lawrence Shanklins and, as much as I'm not a fan of Shea Adams or what's your other boy's name? I'm not really a fan of them, but
Lyndon
Dykes. Yeah, not really a huge fan. But I think if you can have a solid defence and just let the midfield do what they need to do, you've got a really, really good chance because you need to win that opening game against Haiti.
Yeah, man. I think that the game, could be interesting is the Brazil one, just because it's the name, innit? Brazil. Like, even though it might not be the Brazil of old, but that is going to be box office, that match. Like, you'd think, like, Scotland are going to, I think they'll beat Haiti, but I think that Brazil game could be interesting just because they know they're playing elite international, like, winners, aren't they? Like,
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Yeah,
I'm going to be positive. So I think we're going to beat Haiti.
Yeah,
I think we're going to get beat off of Morocco, and I think we'll draw with Brazil in the last game and get through.
Yeah, like nice. Well, they goal difference. It was Spence the best third place team and all that.
Yeah, one of the best third place teams. But yeah, I think that's how. I hope that's how it's going to go.
Yeah,
I would take that.
I tell you what, mate. Like, regardless of what my opinions are on international footy, like, I will say this: like, the World Cup final a couple of years ago was one of the best games of football I'd ever seen in my life.
It was class, wasn't it? Yeah, was France, Argentina.
Because all our lives, right, you're thinking every World Cup final has been a bit of a disappointment. Well, it could have been one-sided or just really dull, but that was a fucking electrifying game, wasn't it? It was just so much happened. I mean, who was it? Was it that Thuram? He missed a howler for France, didn't he? Near the end of the game. And like little moments like that, like the goalkeeper for Villa, he's just utter shithouse, wasn't he? Like, he's saving a penalty and he was doing like this little dance and that. I thought, you can do that at the fucking World Cup final, man.
I know, it's crazy.
He's one of those goalkeepers that I actually would really, really love to have in my team. I don't know why. I hate playing against him because I know what he's like. But he'd be good, mate, if he's saving your penalties and acting like that.
But we'll need to try and get something sorted for the World Cup to try and do like a live feed or something. I don't know how we could work it.
Absolutely, mate. Or like a sort of pre-match podcast, one of the days you come over, mate.
Yeah, because I'm going to obviously take time off for the games because I don't want to be working the night before or the night after. I want to have those days off because we might only have 3 games if we don't get through. So I want to make the most of it and like get a drink in and stuff like that. And obviously like thinking about coming over for one of them. So, but if we could try and do like something with the podcast where we do like a live. I don't know if we could do a live watch along. I don't know if that's possible.
Could do that, yeah.
Maybe the Brazil game, maybe the last game. If we could both set up the TVs to like watch the game together and stream it live on YouTube.
Could be a plan, or go to a pub where it's got like amazing Wi-Fi. I'll check out which pubs have got the best Wi-Fi.
We've missed a trick. So there's a guy that came up on my Instagram. I was going to actually message you about this, and he wrote the unofficial World Cup song. I don't know if you've seen it. The guy's like standing in like the really like 80s looking Scotland shirt. He's got a pair of shades on, and he's got the keyboard, and he's written this song, and it's really like it's quite shite, but it's actually really good at the same time. One of those.
Right, okay, yeah.
And I seen it, and I was like, oh mate, we've missed an opportunity. Could have fucking written a World Cup song for Scotland.
Mate,
missed a trick there.
I do like that one they brought out a couple of years ago. That we'll be coming down the road. I thought that's quite catchy, actually.
What was the England one years ago for Italia '90? Was it The World at Our Feet?
Was it New Order? John Barnes and that giving it licks.
John Barnes in the studio with the cans on.
Yeah, Oh, is it called World in Motion or something?
Oh, sorry, World in Motion. That's it.
Yeah.
Hi, fucking brilliant. Peter Beardsley and all that, like class.
Yeah. I think my dad, he had a little good term about New Order a few years ago. He's like, they're the quintessential English band because they're just like the vocalist. He's just pure English, isn't he?
I'm going to see if we can get some audio here for World in Motion.
Oh yes,
I don't
please.
know. I don't know how YouTube will feel about me playing this, but can you hear that?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking 80s cheese in it.
Remember the one Ant and Dec? Do you remember the one Ant and Dec brought out? Like, we're on
hang
the
on,
ball. We're on the ball.
Hang on, Ant and Dec.
Rio to Terry to Beckham to Scorsese. We're on the ball.
Oh, the 2002. Here we go.
Yeah.
We're on the ball. We're on the ball.
I do like the Three Lions one. I'm not gonna lie, that was a Lightning Seed song. That was a fucking great song.
Oh yeah, so it's like 3 lines on a shirt.
Yeah, it's coming.
Jewels remain still gleaming. You have to sing that song in a Cockney accent, don't you?
30 years of hurt. It was funny because in Euro '96 when they got beat by Germany, I remember I think Germany were doing a trophy celebration and they started singing like, "It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming." Yeah, again, Klinsmann.
So yeah, I would put the 3 lines at the top.
Aye.
And then World in Motion's got to be second.
Yeah.
And Ant and Dec have got to be a fucking lowly third. Like
the '98 World Cup theme's brilliant, isn't it? Like the one where they do all the countries and they've got Scotland playing the bagpipes.
The bagpipes side, that was one of the.
What's that song called? That's called.
Something.
Del Mar or something.
Yeah, yeah. France '98 song. Carnival de Paris by Dario G.
Yeah, aye. I do know what was even meant, mate, at that time, because we used to have that game on PlayStation, FIFA Road to World Cup '98, and you'd have like Song 2 by Blur kicking in. Used to do indoor football on it. That was class.
That just reminds me of being like that age and going into my mate's house and turning the PlayStation on.
Yeah.
And it was like the EA Sports. It's in the game.
Yes.
And then you would get the FIFA tunes on. Oh, so good, mate. But Dario G's song, I think for me that's the ultimate World Cup song. But do you know what's my second favourite? And it's my daughter's favourite. Waka waka samina mina. It's time for Africa.
Shakira.
Aye, I missed a try to write a fucking Scotland song, mate. What's the date? 29th of March. Might still have time, mate. Get in the studio tonight. Maybe write a wee song like fucking McTominay on the ball. Steve Clark wants it all. Suter, McKenna, Robertson.
Call it the Hampden Row.
Fucking hell. You've got me thinking there, mate. I might have to go into the studio tonight.